Today, we're visiting the town of Seymour, Indiana. Seymour is located about 60 miles south of Indianapolis and 50 miles north of Louisville, Kentucky. Seymour is a quiet town, but it's also the home of the so-called crossroads of southern Indiana. The two railways that cross here are the Louisville and Indiana Railroad and CSX's Indiana Subdivision, which previously belonged to the Baltimore and Ohio Railway. There's also a small connection between the two tracks. And in the middle of it all is a small railroad park called Crossroads Park. There are many old railroad artifacts that Seymour has to offer, and we'll look at the most prominent ones in this video. The first of these artifacts is this old B&O freight shed, which was converted in 2008 to become the Jackson County Visitor Center. Built in 1905 by the Southern Railway, this depot serves as a classic example of industrial railroad architecture. Across Tipton Street from the Crossroads Park is an old chassis system caboose, which was previously owned by the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway before it was bought up by CSX. And behind the caboose stands a very large and very old grain tower. Another historic building which has since been torn down, sadly, is CSX's old J.O. signal tower. It stood here on the map and overlooked the diamond. Here's what the J.O. tower used to look like years ago. Now, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the railroads were quiet today, and I only managed to shoot 3 trains. The first of which was a short CSX local grain train, as it headed westbound across the diamond. Now's a good time to talk about the railroad signals that the B&O almost exclusively used. Here at the diamond you can see a pair of color position light signals, or CPLs. These signals were installed back in 1924, and this is one of the few towns where signals like this still stand. However, these signals are sadly no longer functioning. Here's another view of the CPL signals, this time from the east side of the diamond. This modern signal stands next to the visitor center, and it has replaced a classic CPL signal. Specifically, it's replaced this signal, which now stands on display collecting rust next to the visitor center. This color light signal is on the south side of the diamond next to the Louisville and Indiana track. At least it's not one of the repetitive modern signals, but who knows how much time is left for these color light signals. Here comes the next train, a northbound CSX mixed freight. This one really snuck up on me. I expected it to turn onto the connection, since the signal behind me was red over green, meaning it would have been okay for the train to proceed, but instead it continued straight and across the diamond. Now we're at the southern end of the connection where it joins up with the Louisville and Indiana track. The sign stands by the switch with big bold letters. Close to the sign stands a unique type of signal called an approach warning signal. These kinds of signals are most often found when non-signaled track joins up with signaled track, and it's the same case here. All the track south of the connection has no signals, and the next signal is difficult to see around the curve, so this signal is placed here to warn the crew that it's coming up. This particular signal can display a yellow light or a green light, and in this case it's green because the next signal is not displaying a stop indication. In fact, it is displaying red over green, meaning a train is about to take this curve, and a long one by the looks of it, considering that the signal has been displaying red over green for nearly 6 hours now. The train is another CSX mixed freight, headed up by an engine with the paint scheme that, in my opinion, CSX should have kept using. And there's the last train of the day. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, leave some comments, share with your friends, or subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope you've enjoyed my narration, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.